The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited.
They do not give up until you pay.
They put a lien on my house.
How about you? Do you owe back taxes? Call Tax Solutions now and get some help. For a limited time, the IRS offers a tax forgiveness program called the Fresh Start Initiative. Our team can make it easier for you to pay back taxes, avoid tax liens, and get a fresh start. Sometimes you just need a second chance.
I call Tax Solutions now, and they got the IRS off my back.
At Tax Solutions Now, our affiliates are all accredited by the Better Business Bureau and members of the National Association of Tax Professionals.
We saved our home and overcame the most powerful collection agency in the world.
Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now. Call 800-299-1132. 800-299-1132. 800-299-1132. 800-299-1132.
The Turnpike Sports Book Report.
The Turnpike Sports Book Report is brought to you by BorgataSports.com. Your favorite casino is now your favorite sportsbook. Available anywhere in New Jersey, BorgataSports.com. Sign up at BorgataSports.com using our promo code PIKE, that's P-I-K-E. Make your first wager of $20 or more and you'll get $100 in free bets. That's $100 in free bets when your first wager on Borgata Sports is $20 or more. Get into the action with BorgataSports.com. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And welcome to this week's Turnpike Sports Book Report. This is for the week ending February 25th, just so people can follow along with the stories we're going to be talking about. We've got a bunch of state records to hit for this week's episode. We've got a few more Super Bowl figures, and we got a few still New York Nuggets for sports betting.
New York constantly making news in the sports betting world.
Plus, we got a bunch of deals to talk about and some legislation if we have time to hit those.
Okay.
Let's start off with some of the records because we have the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and Louisiana both reporting some record numbers here. We have Commonwealth of Pennsylvania setting a record high monthly sports betting total handle of $793.7 million in January. State also has a record monthly online handle of $737.4 million.
I wonder how much of that is NFL playoffs. I bet you a lot of it is.
I wonder how much of that is Super Bowl.
Well, Super Bowl was February 13th, so I know leading up to the Super Bowl will probably be a lot of future bets, but no, I think a lot of that's playoff.
Again, Pennsylvania is one of those states where online is king. They had almost 93% of their total handle from online betting.
See, that's incredible for me. New Jersey is like that too, but New Jersey, we have our sports books and our casinos at the extreme top and at the extreme bottom of our state. So a lot of people like us, it takes an hour to get to the Meadowlands, an hour to get to Atlantic City. So, we depend on online sports betting. But, Pennsylvania's casinos are pretty much spread out. Yeah, so I'm surprised.
Well, again,
Pennsylvania's huge too.
That's the thing. Pennsylvania's got a lot of yardage to cover.
Yeah,
and it's kind of interesting that they've also been setting a lot of iGaming records. That state every month they report their online gaming segment, not just the sports betting, but the online gaming, the online casino segment, online poker is actually pretty impressive.
Oh no, it's great. No, I love Pennsylvania.
Well, we've got another sports betting state reporting a record number. We have Louisiana.
I know nothing about Louisiana, so
you know where it is.
I know where it is, okay. But I know about their sports betting scene. I have no clue about.
Well, their sports betting scene grew the last 4 days in January. They had mobile sports betting launch, but they set a record handle in terms of retail sports betting. They had a total retail handle of $49.3 million. That's the new record for sports betting, retail sports betting in the state since it launched in October. As a matter of fact, it launched on Halloween.
Louisiana is weird. I mean, they have different parishes, which are counties in any other state. Certain counties don't allow mobile sports betting. So it's weird. The geolocation has to be amazing in that state because, you can live in a county that allows sports betting, then the next county over doesn't allow sports betting in mobile sports betting. So it's a very interesting state. I'm not sure I know which counties allow sports betting and which don't allow sports betting.
Remember, when
I keep calling them counties, I guess
parishes.
They're
Yes.
parishes. But, for sake of people listening, they're all intents and purposes counties.
Well, much more impressive for Louisiana. Like I said, they launched mobile sports betting towards the end of the month, and they only had 4 days of mobile sports betting.
Yeah.
And a lot of this had to do probably with the Super Bowl. They had, in 4 days, $40 million in mobile sports betting handle.
That's pretty good.
That's rivaling some of the bigger states out there. I think Arizona rivals. It could give New York a run for its money if you think about it.
Statewide, mobile sports betting isn't allowed statewide. It's different parishes. So it's interesting to see how that is split up.
Well, those were 2 of the states that reported record handles, record numbers for the month of January. Mm-hmm. Got a couple New York nuggets to hit.
Oh, New York, okay.
We have, according to the New York Times, they had a story on it, more than $2.4 billion in bets through February 13th.
I saw that story in the New York Times. It's absolutely astounding.
What
New York is doing is incredible.
They did not separate the Super Bowl out from their normal weekly reporting.
Okay.
The week of the Super Bowl, $472 million in handle. That's not separating out anything to do with the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Draftkings for Super Bowl Sunday, 1.7 million active users on its platforms.
In New York, right?
No, all over.
Oh, okay.
1.7 million active users for the Super Bowl.
All right.
Moments before kickoff, they actually had this report. 21,000 bets per minute were placed.
Okay. It's amazing how they can track that, but, you have to track it because that's how you do your business. But that's just incredible.
New York is blowing my mind most of the time with their numbers. Very impressive. New York's online sportsbooks, get this, average $69.6 million in bets per day over the 24 days from January 8th launch through the end of January.
No, it's population density. That's what does it.
That's why everybody wanted mobile sports betting in New York. It just makes sense to continue to see exactly what's going on. And that's not even with everyone launched yet.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something. That's why New Jersey was freaked out when we heard that New York was launching their mobile sports betting. We were going to lose a lot of revenue from New Yorkers coming over the bridge to bet in New Jersey. But let me tell you something. New Jersey just broke a state handle record. So I guess it really it didn't have that big an effect, I guess, in New Jersey. I guess we have to wait and see.
If you think about it, New Jersey is keeping pace.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, as long as
it's not as bad as New Jersey thought it would be.
No.
Okay.
And it's not as good as taking away from New Jersey as New York probably thought it was going to be.
Wow.
I mean, you still have a lot of people crossing over back and forth. And the fact that both states do not allow in-state college betting allows for the crisscross.
Yeah.
And I think that once one of these states figures out, let's allow in-state college betting, that's when you're going to see a difference in the numbers.
One thing New Jersey also has that New York doesn't is online casinos and online poker. So we're still getting that crowd coming over from New York.
That's going to change at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
Out of the states that reported Super Bowl handles, Nevada still has the highest so far.
Okay.
Nevada had $179.8 million in handle on the Super Bowl alone. New Jersey and Pennsylvania were 2 and 3. Illinois was number 4. New Jersey had $143.7 million.
Okay.
Pennsylvania, $68 million. And Illinois came in with $60.5 million on the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So we're still getting some Super Bowl numbers coming in. But again, it's kind of interesting that New York still hasn't separated out the Super Bowl yet. I wonder if they're going to be doing that at a later date.
Look, they're brand new at it, so who knows how they're going to report.
Yeah, they are brand new.
Who knows how they're going to report?
I am very curious about Arizona.
Yeah.
Arizona is going to be a fun one to see their January numbers for.
Okay.
So, I wonder if they're going to break $1 billion in a month.
We're into almost March, and we still don't have Arizona's numbers yet.
For January.
Oh, God.
We got their other ones.
All right, okay, but
They're getting there. They're getting there.
Boy, I wish every state would just put their numbers out all at once so we can actually look at them and analyze them and see how everyone's doing.
Well,
but,
you got to remember.
Who's the one that's really behind? Which state is really behind?
Well, Illinois is about 90 days behind.
Yeah, okay, yeah, Illinois, yeah.
But they actually released their Super Bowl numbers.
Oh, okay.
So they were ahead of the game for just the one.
Way to go, Illinois. I apologize, Illinois.
The one that really is lagging behind at time, Delaware. Sometimes they release them 2 months at a time, and they're like way back sometimes.
No offense to Delaware, I rarely think about Delaware. When you say sports betting, I was like, oh, gee, I wonder how Delaware is doing.
What was that scene in?
Hey, we're in Delaware.
Yeah.
Okay.
But let's we talked some of the numbers, some of the records. Let's talk some of the deals that have happened over the past week.
All
and
right.
We had a bunch of deals, some really interesting ones, as a matter of fact. We had Caesars announcing a multi-year partnership with the Cleveland Cavaliers.
This one's interesting. I heard about this one. This involves an actual retail sports book, right?
Right.
Okay.
Well, as everyone knows, Ohio's inching closer to launching their sports betting industry. The Cavaliers already have a deal with Fubo Gaming.
Okay.
It's the online sports book, the online whatever they want to call it. Fubo Gaming is the company. They have a deal with the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's different than the Caesars deal because, as you said, the Caesars deal is going to have a retail sports book at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse where the Cavaliers play.
This is going to be connected. This one's actually going to be connected.
It's in the stadium.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And this is where a sports book like Caesars differentiates itself from Fubo because Fubo is strictly an online book.
Sure.
I haven't seen a retail book in their plans mentioned yet.
I was thinking about that. I think I even asked you, does Fubo have a retail book anywhere?
Well, they have sports betting lounges.
Okay.
And I know they got one with the Jets.
Okay.
In the Meadowlands, but I haven't heard them say anything about a retail book yet.
Okay.
And the one thing I noticed...
They're a great outfit. I hope they do have a retail book. I mean,
you got to give them time,
I rarely bet at a retail book, but it's fun to watch games at a retail book.
You got to remember, Fubo is more intent on incorporating the sports betting activity with their TV side.
Yeah, like I said, it's
they want to do.
I love Fubo TV, and I love how they the programs they have on it. It's great for the sports.
One other thing that separates this sports book apart from like the ones that are going to be open in the Cardinal Stadium, it's open to ticket holders and non-ticket holders.
Oh, okay.
You can actually go in from the outside.
All right.
Go in and place a bet, even if you don't have a ticket.
Okay.
The Caesars Sportsbook is also going to be, you're going to see Cavaliers logos and marks on the Caesars Sportsbooks. You're going to see Caesars brand on their broadcast and digital content across the Cavs properties. There's going to be TV visible in-game signage at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse.
Okay.
So, when you mentioned the Betway stuff, where you see Betway on the sides of the boards at the hockey games.
Oh, yeah, I see Betway everywhere.
You're probably going to see some of that with that type of stuff with the Cavaliers.
Okay.
I'm curious to see if anyone's going to get the stanchion, where the baskets are.
Yeah.
Let's go over to, stay in North America, closer up to Canada. We're slowly moving up because I have a Canadian deal to talk about.
Okay, all right. Making our way to Canada.
Yes. We have Fanduel announcing a multi-year partnership with the Buffalo Sabres.
Okay.
Fanduel is the team's official sports betting partner. Fanduel will have end-to-end broadcast integration exclusivity in all phases of Sabres broadcasts, which means you're going to see Fanduel odds and promos and whatnot. That's a broadcast integration is another new phrase we're seeing.
That means we're going to see FanDuel lines and spreads and things like
exactly.
that, and the pre and post games and things
and
like
also
that.
you may see special promos.
Okay,
that sort of stuff. FanDuel get the right to use official Sabres logos and marks. I didn't see anything about in stadium sportsbooks yet for them.
Okay,
I would have thought that would have been part of it because I know the deal I think they did with the Buffalo Bills mentioned something about a retail book at some point.
Okay.
But, again, FanDuel did a deal with the Buffalo Sabres. Now, moving over to we have – this is kind of an interesting deal. A very interesting deal. Amazon.
Yes, okay.
Amazon has announced a deal with – it's a multi-year deal with Maple Leaf Sports.
Now, is this Canada, right?
This is Canada. That's
right.
why I was slowly moving up to
to
the
Canada.
border here.
Okay.
Amazon Web Services. That's the formal name of Amazon for this stuff. announced a deal with Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, and I'm going to read these off my notes so I can actually get the teams right. It includes the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Toronto Raptors, the Toronto Football Club.
That's soccer.
Yep.
Okay.
And the Toronto Argonauts.
And that's
Canadian football.
Canadian football.
What they're going to be doing is using the Amazon technology for augmented reality and virtual reality to enhance the broadcasts of these games.
All right. I'm trying to figure out what that means. Augmented reality, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
And the main thrust of the deal is an enhanced game insights, content, data.
Okay.
You're going to be able to track your favorite player. You're going to be able to see the stats.
All right.
From the game,
okay. Yeah,
a
I like
live
that.
feed of stats for the games that are being played.
Kind of like a betcast. I guess you would call it a betcast,
if you want to simplify it,
okay.
yes.
It's a little weird augmented reality.
But they're talking. Well, there's different aspects of the deal they're developing, and they're also going to be looking at allowing customers for Amazon as well as the fans of the teams to take part in free-to-play gaming and on-demand sports betting.
Wow, that's great.
So we're seeing a lot of integration.
Yeah.
To continue with that phrasing, content integration for sports betting as well as free-to-play is becoming a big thing too.
I think it's going to be a big year for Amazon, especially with the NFL deal and the Thursday night games for Amazon. So Amazon really doing incredible things with sports.
Well, we're staying with the Canadian area of the world here. We're going to be talking about and let me get this right because I want to get the guy's name right, Toronto Maple Leafs center and alternate captain Austin Matthews signed a partnership agreement with Bet99.
Okay. I've never heard of Bet99.
Not a lot of people have because they haven't even gotten licensed yet.
Okay. So are they a Canadian outfit?
They're an online betting and gaming operator in Canada.
Okay. All right.
Ontario, to be specific.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, you just did an interview
Yes.
with Greg Warren from US Bets.
Yeah, big
and
things are
SportsCenter.
happening in Ontario.
Ontario seems to be the thing, the place to be.
That's the hot spot of betting for Canada. It appears to be. So.
And what the deal is a 3-year deal, supposedly worth 7 figures.
Okay.
It's supposed to be the most lucrative sports betting or gaming deal already for a Canadian player.
Okay, that's pretty good.
I mean, I don't know how you can track that right now since the industry is just beginning.
Yeah. So.
But it's
Got to start somewhere.
It's to promote the free-to-play website bet99.net.
Okay. All right.
So we're seeing
Bet99 is up and ready now, just free to play, right? It's no real money yet.
Bet99.net is the free-to-play
All
site.
right.
I'm assuming bet99.ca.
That's right. Yeah, they don't. They're not going to. They have .ca.
Yeah.
All right.
So there's a lot of different things going on there.
All right.
We talked about this earlier in Turnpike Sports, the main show, where Caesars had their earnings call. And given what has gone on with New York and some of the other states, they've actually hit some of their target goals earlier than expected.
Yeah, I would guess so, yeah.
So they're cutting back on the advertising.
I keep saying Caesars is all over the TV, radio, buses, billboards in the New York area. I mean, it's incredible.
Well, they have hit their targets. So
I would guess so.
I'm assuming we're going to see somebody else come in and increase their spend.
Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe one of the other ones. I know we don't see too many. I mean, not as many PointsBet, not as many. But I'm seeing a lot of Bet365 all of a sudden.
Well, the whole thing,
especially in the New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York area.
I get confused where these commercials are coming from because in New Jersey we have Pennsylvania stations, we have New York stations, we have New Jersey stations. You walk into a room in New Jersey and the TV's on and there's a sportsbook commercial on. You don't know what state they're coming out of, so who knows?
And again, it's a matter of market share. And some of them want to do it, some of them want to do it their own way. Rush Street Interactive, whether it's Bet Rivers or Play Sugar House, you don't see over-aggressive advertising from them. They have their own little engine that could kind of deal where they go and they just move forward on their own speed and doing their own deals. Speaking of other developments, here we have Wisconsin. 2 things happened in Wisconsin, and I'm switching gears to some launches.
Okay.
The first retail sportsbook could open in Milwaukee towards the end of this year, later this year, maybe mid to late year.
Okay.
Governor Tony Evers and get this right, The Forest County Potawatomi Tribe announced an amended gaming compact which would allow them to launch retail sports betting. Green Bay already has the retail book. They have the first retail book in Wisconsin.
Oh, okay. I
So
didn't know that.
That's already open and
Green
running.
Bay, huh?
Yep.
All right.
It's actually right by the airport, they say. So,
Okay. All right. I'll take your word for it.
That's what they say. I don't know too much about Green Bay physically. I've never been to Green Bay. Also, in Wisconsin, mobile sports betting launched. Sort of.
Sort of, huh?
It's-
Is this
it's-
one of those things where you have to be on the actual property
You got to be
to
on
log on?
the
Okay.
Native American tribes casino property.
Okay.
To
All right.
actually log on to the app, the Oneida Casino Sportsbook app.
You know, we have a couple states like that. I mean, I guess technically you can call them mobile sports betting, but really, I mean, if you walk off the property, you can't mobile sports bet in the state.
No, well, Mississippi's like that too.
Yeah.
They have one or two casino. I think it's just one really. BetMGM has an app, and you have to be on that casino's property to actually play online there.
Okay. Well,
We have Maxim Bet announcing that they're going to go live in Indiana and Iowa soon,
wow, great.
with plans to go into even more states and also Canada. They're
Great.
one of the ones targeting Canada.
Yeah, we just talked to Maxim Bet.
Yeah.
We had him on. Yeah.
That's actually a great company.
It is. It's great. I love Maxim, the magazine, and Maxim Bet's doing great too. So,
BetMGM announced a content integration deal. There's that phrase again with SportsGrid
okay.
for integration of BetMGM odds and stats throughout the SportsGrid programming.
I like SportsBet. Are they still broadcasting out of the Meadowlands? I remember they kind of had a studio there at one time.
I want to say yes,
Okay.
but I'm not sure, and I don't want to speak out of turn on that one. I don't know exactly where they broadcast.
But they really come out of New York, right?
Yes.
They're out of New
Yes.
York.
We have Rush Street Interactive, market access opportunities in Ohio, Maryland, and Missouri through a 20-year strategic partnership with Penn National Gaming.
Wow. Okay.
The one thing I brought up for this is the fact that Rush Street also has a deal in terms of sports betting with the Hall of Fame. So maybe there's
The Football Hall of Fame.
the Football Hall of
Okay.
Fame in Ohio.
Okay.
I'm wondering with Penn National there, will we see either a Barstool or a Score Bet deal coming down the road for the Hall of Fame?
That'd be pretty cool.
It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all market access. Churchill Downs came out in their earnings call and pretty much surprised everybody by saying no more Twin Spires.
You know, we keep having them on the Beat in the House segment of the Turnpike Sports Show. I mean, it seems like a lot of jackpots are coming out of Twin Spires, the online casino. And I guess they're winding that down, or they have plans on winding that down. Is that what's going on?
Twin Spires may still exist as a horse racing betting app,
Okay.
but they are getting rid of the sportsbook and the online casino part of it.
Wow,
It
okay.
seems like they were doing extremely well with the online casino part.
Well, we know a lot of jackpots were coming out of there. So.
Yeah. So I'm really, really surprised that happened. But again, it's one of those situations where they see an opportunity to actually work with third-party brands for sports betting and online casinos and take the licensing money.
Sure.
And that's actually not a bad way of doing
Absolutely
business.
not.
They may bring it back at some point, seeing how well their revenue streams start to become. Caesars Entertainment, going back to Caesars, we have another announcement from them. They have announced that a Guy Fieri restaurant concept,
Okay.
not a restaurant, but a restaurant concept.
I don't know what that means. A restaurant concept.
That's what he calls his restaurants. They're not restaurants. They're a restaurant concept.
There's one in Atlantic City. I think Bally's has it, or
He's got a couple in Atlantic
does he?
City.
Okay,
Yeah, he's got that. He's got like a sandwich shop in one area.
Yeah,
He's got a restaurant in
Yeah,
another.
yeah. Or there's a barbecue thing he has in, I think, in Bally's. I think that's the thing I'm thinking of.
Well, Caesars is going to work with Guy Fieri to do a restaurant concept that will anchor its Chase Field Sportsbook in Arizona. There's a current restaurant there right now, but they will be replacing that with this Guy Fieri restaurant concept.
So that's how you pronounce his name? I've seen him
Guy
on TV.
Fieri?
I've seen him say Fieri. So it's
If
Fieri,
you-
Fieri. I don't know. I know who he is, but
Yeah.
I'm just curious about how
going
you
by-
say his name.
I'm going by what I hear.
I'm
in the
hearing
news.
5 different ways to pronounce it.
Well, you know what? If he says it that way, that's the right way to say it.
Oh well, hey,
See, I don't watch his TV shows.
He's the one who said it.
So,
okay.
but last note here: Golden Nugget Online Gaming. announced a deal with Strive Gaming.
Okay.
Strive Gaming is a platform provider, and they will power Golden Nugget's online sportsbook launch in Arizona. Mm-hmm. And also, the partnership extends into Ontario.
Oh, okay, good.
So we're going to start seeing some Golden Nugget movement towards our neighbors to the north.
More Ontario. Boy.
Ontario's
a hot spot.
It's going to be a really interesting time when
it
Ontario
already
launches.
Is. It already
That's
is.
what, April 4th?
I think so, yeah.
So, but that's it for this week's Turnpike Sports Book Report. Please keep those press releases and news reports coming in, info@turnpikesportsradio.com. If you were watching on TV, you also noticed additional stories in our ticker scrolling across the bottom of the screen. And the print version will be put up on the Turnpike Sports Radio blog about an hour or so after this is released. So there'll be a full thing there. Go to turnpikesportsradio.com and click on the blog button, and you'll see a full-blown version of the Turnpike Sports Book Report in print form there.
And that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.